When there were no SUVs, the Javali Jeep took almost a minute to go from 0 to 100 km per hour. Javali, a 1990s Jeep as strong and brave as its ancestors, the tractors. Hello, automotive enthusiasts. Let's get straight to the point. The Javali took its time to appear, 2 years since the presentation of its prototype at the 1988 Auto Show, but arrived fully justifying its wild name. Its solid, robust, and even ugly appearance seems to assert that it's not enough to be strong, you need to look strong. After all, the Javali Jeep is manufactured by CBT, Companhia Brasileira de Tratores, Brazilian tractor company. Yes, it descends from tractors, rugged machines made to tame difficult terrains. And it aims to restore, in a market lacking options of its kind in the 90s, the virtues of the primitive Jeep Willys, invented nearly half a century ago to help the Allied armies defeat the Nazis in World War II. The Javali uses a 3-cylinder diesel engine derived from CBT tractors. This explains its extraordinary torque, a tremendous force that mainly appears at low rotations. The reason for this lies in the engine's enormous cylinder stroke, a whopping 120 millimeters. And, as if that weren't enough, it is also turbocharged, a feature absent in other Jeeps. The Javali was not made for leisure but for work. Its appearance has no aesthetic appeal, it is Spartan in every aspect. Hence, it was the cheapest Brazilian Jeep at that time. Like its direct competitors, Toyota and Engisa, the Javali has the inconvenience of requiring the driver to exit the vehicle to engage the 4x4 traction, done by turning the key on the freewheel at the front wheels. Furthermore, to complete the operation, you must also activate the 4x4 traction lever located next to the gearbox and beside another lever that reduces gears. In this aspect, the traditional military Jeep of the 1940s had an advantage. To engage traction, a single engagement was enough, all from inside the cabin. To avoid this inconvenience, an alternative is to engage the freewheel without activating the traction lever for short distances where 4x4 may be needed. However, this slightly increases fuel consumption and the already high noise level. This is the worst aspect of the Javali, it is very noisy, and, worse, its exhaust is under the driver's feet and ears. The noise is so loud that, during a test by a car magazine, cotton plugs had to be used in the ears to reduce discomfort. In daily life, a vehicle is not demanded so much. Especially because, in the case of the Javali, the engine's power is already evident at idle, making it unnecessary to accelerate to the maximum. Another inconvenient detail in the Javali is the lack of a power brake. Without it, the driver has to press the pedal hard to hold the 1,755 kilograms of the Jeep. The factory omitted this item to reduce costs since a diesel vehicle's power brake is more expensive and complicated. As there is no carburetor to provide the vacuum to activate it, a compressor must be connected to the system. Other drawbacks of the model are the difficult engagement of the 4x4 and low gear levers, and the interior rearview mirror, which is poorly positioned, small, and far away. As a result, it does not correctly show what is happening behind. On the other hand, the Javali has its merits. One of them is the good reinforced canvas top with firm buckles, smooth zippers, and a seal that withstands even the heaviest rain. Another merit is its off-road behavior. It bravely faces obstacles and steep climbs without stuttering. This is one of the advantages of diesel engines, as they do not have a carburetor, there is no bowl level that can be affected on steeper climbs. Another advantage of diesel is the ability to ford puddles and streams with less risk since it has no distributor to get wet. With its nearly 2 tons of weight, the Javali is not and cannot be a fast vehicle. It reaches only 106 km per hour of maximum speed, and its acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour takes 53.25 seconds. As it is a Jeep, its normal average speed of use, especially off-road, is from 40 to 60 km per hour. In this range, it is efficient and economical, covering more than 20 kilometers with a single liter of diesel. In terms of stability, the new Jeep is much more pleasing off-road than on the road. On the asphalt, if the driver increases the speed, it will have to live with a certain play in the steering and will need to handle the Javali. But this play in the steering wheel is intentional and can be adjusted. However, the smaller the play, the more compromised the steering box, which operates on a rack and pinion basis. The Javali is a simple vehicle designed exclusively for a specific type of service. Its horn, for example, exists only for emergencies and is therefore not on the steering wheel but hidden on the steering column. Similarly, the dashboard instruments are sufficient only for a Jeep: a thermometer, ammeter, pressure gauge, fuel gauge, and a Beetle-type speedometer up to 160 km per hour, a speed that the Javali will only reach downhill, out of control. Despite being a rugged rural worker, the Javali offers some comfort. Its seats are soft with millimeter adjustment of the backrest, the pedals are less stiff than expected, and the doors can be closed with the fingertips without slamming. In this aspect, the glove compartment is large and lockable, an important detail in a Jeep that is also convertible. However, the ability to remove the top has no leisure connotation. The Javali was not made for that. Its real vocation was to help in hard work and please those who live like Indiana Jones, not for pleasure but out of necessity.